Hi, this is Megan Jacks, Creative Memories Independent Advisor, and I'm here with Sketch 6 from the December 2020 Creative Memories Virtual Crop. If you want to get a copy of this sketch, you can head over to the blog, grab December 2020, and find Sketch 6. So this sketch is a two-page layout, and it features some fun horizontal details across the top and the bottom and the middle here, and they kind of indicate that maybe this larger center band is a different color than this band here at the top. It's got some square photos, some horizontal photos, and a kind of a feature is going to be this long skinny journaling box, which of course you can adjust as you need to depending on how much journaling you want to do. A big thing here to note, and especially with all of the sketches for this particular crop, the backgrounds have been a really neutral background design, I would say, that have a lot of room for you to kind of mess around with how you need to lay out your photos. So build your background and then add your photos as you need to. I wouldn't necessarily worry about trying to get necessarily the square photos if that's not easy for you to crop your photos down to. I am able to get some square photos, and I've got some, I trimmed them or I cropped them to 3x3. So they're 3x3 photos. And I've got, they're my daughter playing in a splash pad several years ago. And then the layout calls for 5 wide by 3¼ inch tall. And that's if you're taking it as a literal interpretation of this sketch. So I am doing a fairly literal interpretation of the layout. So we'll have some photos over there. These two will be bunched up together. So you kind of see how the layout, the horizontal photos, the squares, and here. Now this is obviously some summer photos, and so I am going to have a summer vibe to the overall layout. I ran into a little bit of a hiccup though, is that my stash of summer papers is really eclectic. I've got a little bit of everything, it feels like, from the past few years of things. So I'm going to be using some, I cut a lot of strips because I didn't have enough full sheets. So I'm going to show you how I take these strips to make the background. And we're going to put it together on a piece of extra background. I'm using just a piece of the cover stock that's included with all the paper packs. It is acid-free, totally able to be used as a scrapbook base. And normally I would do like something like a paper weld, but that's a lot of work when I have this much to put together. I just didn't have enough to be able to use full sheets. So I'm starting off with some Fresh Fusion, this lime green from Fresh Fusion. And the strips, like this one is 1.5 inches wide. In fact, both of these are 1.5 inches wide for top and the bottom. And I went with that just because I wasn't 100% sure how my overall overlapping was going to be. So I went generous when I was cutting it. I had a full sheet and I really only needed to cut off 4 6.5 inch strips or 1.5 inch strips. So I cut 4 1/2 inch strips. And so I've got that at the top and the bottom. The next thing I decided to do was I am going to be mixing in, I love the Sunshine Bunch. So I am using that. I'm going to layer that down here at the bottom. I wanted some blue. It's got that kind of splashy look. This is from the Electric Summer collection. I've got some of this tonal yellow paper that's from Slice of Summer from a couple years ago. And then I'm bringing back this orange tonal paper, which I actually used here to punch the sunshine border, is also from Slice of Summer. So you can kind of see, this is the overall look that I'm going for. So I'm going to take a quick pause. I'm going to put it all together so I have both papers done and ready to go. All right, we're back, and you can see I've put together both pieces or both sides of the layout. And the overall size of my bars were kind of limited by the pieces that I had left of my paper. So you kind of just need to play around, especially if you're putting this together from scraps like I was, to figure out what's going to be best. There's really no set rules for this particular layout. Just make it work for what you like in terms of your color combinations and the overall width of things. If you want exact measurements, I do have in the Facebook group, I did post the layout or the sketch with those measurements. So if you want to be able to cut exact, it's in there for you. So I did use, you'll see here at the top, I'm using one of the stickers from the Electric Summer collection, and I'm laying that across the seam. That is this aqua. And so giving that nice contrasty purple there. And I'm going to be carrying that purple color down into the mats of my photos. So I've got my photos. And I will be using some purple from the Fresh Fusion. I believe it's maybe the Brights, Fresh Fusion Brights. So it's kind of the mid-tone. Maybe it was called Cheer. This piece is, because these are 3x3 photos, this long bar was cut to 9.5 by 3.25 inches. It's using a very small 1/8 of an inch border around the photos themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and tack these photos into place on the mat. And like I said, it's just a real thin border all the way around. But there's a nice contrast with this rich purple. It does pick up, my daughter's swimsuit has purple in it, so it picks up those colors real well. And this will be down here at the bottom. And then I have one mat that's cut to 5.25 by 3.75 for the photo. And this one, this mat it's a little bit bolder, going for the quarter inch border all the way around. And then for the double photos in the layout on the left-hand page, they're combined together on one mat. So I've gone ahead and I cut a piece of the purple paper to 5.5 wide by 7.25 long. That will let me put these photos on there using the same quarter inch border all the way around. This layout, I did kind of feel after I started putting it together, I probably could have printed 4x6s of these photos. There is quite a bit of room in the overall layout for a little bit bigger photos, but it works out fine. But don't let the size of the photos worry you. Go ahead and use the 4x6s if you want. And then for my journal box over here, I cut a piece of the purple cardstock to our purple designer paper to 3 inches wide by 7 long. And then I have the journal box at the journal paper is 2.5 by 6.5. I think the dimensions that I give in the Facebook group on the actual sketch itself are a little bit different. I had a slight snafu with the overall width. I wasn't able to get the full width that I wanted for the journal box, but this works out really well. So there you can see it's taking shape there. Now I needed a title, and they had a really fun mat in the Electric Summer kit that said tan lines will, the tan will fade, but the memories will last forever. And I thought that was a really sweet sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and tack these down. And I have some other stickers and embellishments I'm going to put into place. I kind of was just looking through what I had for leftovers, because I kind of got to the point where all of my summer stuff ended up going into one project folder. So I've got Electric Summer, Slice of Summer, and Citrus Summer all in one project folder. and I'm really just mixing and matching between the two of them. Electric Summer and Slice of Summer blend really well. Citrus Summer had a little bit of a more weathered vibe to it, I guess you would say. The patterns are a little more faded and subtle, and so it doesn't always blend great with the papers, but mix and match as you want. Another great one in there too is Playtime. It's one of the theme packs. Some of the papers in there work really well too. So it was one of my favorite theme packs. So there we go. And I'm going to end the video here for now. I'm going to probably take a little bit more time and put on a few more embellishments. And that I get a little indecisive sometimes, so I won't keep you on the video while I make that. As soon as the video ends, you'll see the final layout itself. So hope you enjoy. Give Sketch 6 a try. Like I said, even if you don't get photos put on it, you've created a great background to kind of file away and pull out when you're ready to actually put photos down. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you soon.